Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and welcome to another episode of Sunday Mailbox. This is a video series where you, the viewer, can submit your gaming or Battlefield 3 related questions, and then I will give my humble opinion on them. To get the formalities out of the way real quick, if you would like to submit your own question that could be featured in a future episode, you can do so by leaving a comment down below or by sending me a YouTube message. So the first question for today comes in from Retro Exponing, who asks, what do you think about the idea of being able to kill people inside of a tank for Battlefield 4? By this I mean that you can get on top of the tank and kill the people inside by shooting them or throwing a grenade in through the top of the tank. So I get where you're going with this, and it does sound very cool in concept, being able to run up to an enemy vehicle, jumping on top, maybe pressing a button to go through an animation, having him open up the top of the tank, throwing in a grenade, waiting a couple of seconds, and having it explode, everyone's killed inside, and then now all of a sudden you now have a free tank at your disposal that you can do as you please with it. And that does sound very cool, but if they did go down this route, I think it would go pretty much against everything that DICE has kind of done in their previous Battlefield titles, is where they want to have class diversity and they want to have class roles. They want to have the engineer being the main thing to take out enemy vehicles. They want to have the assault or the medic to be the one that's going to play the more support role. And if they did do this, that would blur the lines a lot more, and there wouldn't be as much of a reason to run as the engineer. Because as of right now, the engineer is your go-to kit to take out enemy vehicles. But if you did this, everyone would be able to dispatch of enemy tanks. You wouldn't need, there would be less of a reason to play as the engineer. And it's for that very reason that I do not see DICE going down this route. Granted, it's a really cool idea. I like where your head is going, but it just goes too much against the grain. For class balance and class diversity, it would just muddy things too much, and I just don't think that's going to happen for Battlefield 4. So the next question for today comes in from Uncle Osman Gaming, who asks, sometimes the teams are full and you want to switch to the team that is being dominated, but you can't. I think it would be great if you could send a switch request to an enemy player, and if he accepts, you both switch teams. What are your thoughts? So I absolutely love this idea. One of the things about Battlefield 3 that does get really annoying is that if you want to play with more than one other friend, it can be an absolute nightmare to try to get everyone on your team. They have to deal with the server settings. If you switch on over and you get auto balanced, you can't switch on over for an extended period of time. You literally just have to leave the server, come back in, hope that you're on the same team. It's not a very enjoyable experience. And there's sometimes where you just simply cannot get onto the opposing team and with your friends. And I think that's something that needs to be remedied for Battlefield 4. And I think that this could possibly be a way that DICE handles things. I mean, sure, DICE would need to go in, they would need to create a UI that's functional and makes it so that it's very user-friendly. Maybe they could have it so that a player could opt in. They're nice, they understand that players like to play with their friends. They're someone that runs around solo a lot, and so that maybe they will receive those requests more frequently, or they'll be on the top of the list for those requests to be sent to them. So I think there's a lot of ways that DICE could try to take this approach to alleviate a lot of the problems that they currently have in Battlefield 3 that hopefully can be fixed in Battlefield 4. Really cool idea. Hopefully DICE is taking some precautions to alleviate the problem. So the final question for today comes in from Ardu, who asks, what do you think if all lock-on weapons were taken out of the game and the AT4 and tracer darts were brought back for Battlefield 4? To balance air vehicle, you could add more AA vehicles and turrets like the VADs. It would bring back skill to vehicle combat and reduce the amount of camping engineers with javelins. What do you think? So I despise javelins and stingers in this game. I hate them. I don't think they require any skill. I think that using them is very boring. Just following an enemy jet or following a helicopter, not even really needing to be directly over them, just as long as you're in the general location with your cursor, you're going to be able to get that thing off. And it's a thing that doesn't require skill, and I don't like that when I'm playing a first-person shooter, and I especially hate dying to stuff like that. You guys know me, I like to get in the helicopter a lot for our double vision series with level cap, and we die constantly by javelins and stingers. And I know that that's okay. There needs to be balance. Like, you don't want to have the helicopter or the jets being juggernauts or being something in the sky that you cannot shoot down. I understand that, but I think that there should be more skill involved. And like you say, I would agree. I would like those things being removed and seeing a return of the AT4 and the tracer darts, but at the same time having more VADs, like you said, having maybe some stationary turrets that acts like a stationary AA gun that will allow you to just shoot up in the air and try to take out enemy air vehicles. At the same time, though, I do understand that that also has its problems. Having the VAD system in place, it's not very fun sitting in a stationary turret all game. I mean, maybe sure, if you're near an objective, you can jump into it just as a helicopter flies by and then you can take him down. But there'll be a lot of times where you just need to sit in it for an extended period of time to try to take out the jets, and it's not very fun just sitting and camping in that. And at the same time, if you're being taken out by someone who was just camping in one of those all day, it's probably not very enjoyable as well. So both sides have their issues, but at the same time, I think I would be more in favor of getting rid of the stingers and the javelins. But that is about it for today's Sunday Mailbox, guys. I would love to know what you guys thought about these 3 questions. Would you also like to see the removal of stingers in Battlefield 4? Let me know down below in the comment section. But that is about it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and so until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.